This video about to get very surgical, so stay with me. I was thinking about Andre 3000, right? All the different subjects he's talked about, from spirituality to astrology to the stories he's told to the hypotheticals, all this different good stuff. And it makes me laugh because Andre 3000 subscribes to hip hop being a young man's game more than most artists that you know. Andre is one of the most diverse, creative, introspective hip hop artists of all time. And yet he believes that he has nothing to rap about at his age. The same guy who wrote Vibrate says he has nothing to rap about because he's older now. Now it's obvious why they want you to believe that hip hop is a young man's game. It's because they don't want none of the elders that have gone through the game to be able to pass down tools, knowledge, and wisdom to the next generation or to the next generation of artists. Let's use Young Thug, for example, right? If his name is Young Thug, where do you think his limit is? It's when people start to believe he's no longer young. And ironically, Young Thug is on a decline. Now, you can contribute this to many different things, but I think the fact that the image of Young Thug was somebody who was young, wild, all this different stuff, it ages and wears off as he gets older. But since he's still stuck in the character of Young Thug, he can't even give you the more mature version of himself or the wisdom or whatever he got to give you. And that got me thinking. Remember that video I made about the Avengers of hip hop? After this, you should go check that out if you haven't seen it. But it made me think about this collection of artists that are about to be on this Clipse album. You got Pusha T and Malice, Pharrell, Kendrick Lamar, Nas, and Jay-Z. Let's break it down one by one so y'all can see where I'm coming from. Kendrick Lamar is currently 38 years old. And I want to ask you a question, the person watching this video. Doesn't he come off as somebody who was 38? He may look younger, but doesn't he come off as somebody who has reached the age of 38? Somebody who has carried a bunch of wisdom, a bunch of knowledge, and a bunch of lessons in his life that he applies. And not only does he apply these lessons, he exudes them. The Apple interview was a perfect example for me, where they're asking him all these questions, and he keeps going back to things like presence, authenticity, using your creativity as an outlet, using your emotion to create. In general, giving game, giving wisdom about life that might not necessarily fill his pockets, but he's giving away free game. You got songs like Man at the Garden, right? That is basically affirmation music, constantly speaking your reality into existence until it shapes form. Then we got songs like The Heart Part 6, where Kendrick Lamar talks about having hearts to hearts with the people you love so it doesn't escalate and you get to a point of no return. These are lessons that you might miss as a kid, as a teenager, even as an adult if you aren't around the right people or feeding yourself the right information. Then let's talk about the Clipse. I'm watching their Colors performance, which is dope. You should go check that out. Not only are they implementing all of the skills that an MC should have, meaning you should be able to sound just as good without your back vocal, right, as you are with the back vocal. That's exactly what they did. Something that you don't see a lot of from new artists. Then we talk about the way these guys dress and the way they present themselves. They come across as older men. They come across as people who might be 45, 50, but still fresh in their own way. They don't have to commodify themselves to what the young people think fresh is. They create what their idea of fresh is and people follow. Or even when we talking about the intro to this album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, that's about to come out, where they decide to open the album talking about the loss of their parents and how that affected them. That's the type of wisdom that you get from artists who have been through life, who have been through the game, and can still give you something because they aren't dead or in jail by the age of 21, 25, or 30. Even when we talk about Pusha T and Malice's content, right? A lot of people say they only rap about this, they only rap about that, but no, when you really look at these lyrics, they giving you a lot of wisdom and a lot of game if you paying attention. And I'll do a separate video on that. And then we get to Jay-Z. Now, of course, y'all know if you've been here for long enough, I have my critiques about Jay-Z. But we only talking about facts here, not how I feel. And the facts are, Jay-Z is one of those artists who has taken the time to mature with his music and use his maturity to share wisdom. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about right here. Jay-Z released this album at 47 years old. And in my opinion, it has the most wisdom of every album he's dropped. Once again, my opinion, I think this album has more valuable wisdom than any other album Jay-Z dropped. And when did he drop it? At 47. And don't get me started on Nas, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. Nas always been message first, culture first, integrity first. He's always been that. Impact first before anything. Nas has always been that. I think before Kendrick Lamar, Nas was the biggest underground hip hop artist ever. I know some of y'all understand what I mean when I say that. And yet he's still aging. He's still aging with grace. Jim Jones been bothering Nas for the last 2 weeks. Maybe not 2 weeks, probably been a week. But he been bothering Nas for a little bit. And this is how Nas decided to respond to him. By announcing a major business venture with a casino. This was like an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago. He didn't get online and start going back and forth with blah, 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 blah. Nah, he said, say less, dropped a business venture. That's how somebody who's seasoned is gonna respond to you. Not like this exactly, but you get what I'm saying. And then we get to the real key element. These guys have nuclear families. Pusha T stood up for his wife, didn't allow his wife to be disrespected, slaughtered Drake. You see what I'm saying? Protecting his legacy, protecting his family. Kendrick Lamar, nuclear family. Didn't let somebody disrespect his wife, didn't let somebody disrespect his family, handle business. You see what I'm saying? Like he should. Jay-Z, another one with a nuclear family, handling business, taking care of business. Same thing with Nas, etc. Now, the main point of my video is I think we're entering an era where everyone's gonna start to realize the issue is that we don't allow rappers to age and maintain. People want rappers to stay young, no matter how old they get. Isn't that crazy? When a rapper start to mature and start to boom, boom, now all of a sudden people want to move on to the next thing. Now all of a sudden you're not connecting with his message no more, etc. It's programming, in my opinion. Of course, they don't want rappers to age. They don't want rappers to age at all. They would rather them go to prison or die before they reach a level where they can actually start teaching people. They're giving people these platforms so they can make money, not so these guys can influence the world. But I think that's changing because of the shift that is going on currently. This is why I firmly stand on. As much as I love Andre 3000 is great. This video isn't to tear him down. This video is a testament to his greatness. To say that you can't rap no more because you're older, there's nothing to rap about. No, I think what Andre is saying is, I don't think there's anything people want to hear me rap about. False. 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 You are the perfect candidate to be rapping because you have the wisdom, the age, and the experience to give us the game that we might not be giving. Whether it's in the music business, your life, spirituality, introspection, marching to the beat of your own drum. These are the things that you can still give because there's a bunch of kids out there being misled by what the music industry is today. Also, I've been doing a whole lot of talking about what hip hop should be, how hip hop should be, all this different stuff. Yeah, I'm not doing my job of contributing as an MC myself. So because of that, I'm gonna also add to the change that I want to see. And we're gonna start by just making sure y'all know I can rap tomorrow morning. You feel me? If you want to hear some bars from yours truly, tomorrow morning, check out my drop. You feel me? But thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new here. And especially if you've been watching and you ain't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button, bruh.